Hello, everybody. I'm having my phone in my hand and my other hand on the wheel, and I'm on my way. And so I'm going to talk with you about what it is like to be on your way. I'm on my way, and so you could use my explanation as a way for you to be on your way. And you can't be on your way as long as you do not listen to yourself while you speak. And you just keep on doing things, you keep on saying things, you keep on being involved in things because you haven't found your way. You haven't said what is your way. You cannot stay on your own way because you do not even know what you say. And you can only know your way if you hear what you say. Yeah, so that's a way to remember it. Yeah, you can only know your way if you hear what you say. So I'm just making this up, okay? And that's what going your own way is all about. We say that is making things up, but you don't make things up. I mean, I already have these words that I'm speaking, and so I'm just using the language that I have. I don't make anything up. So we call that making things up, but no, you are actually saying what you want to say, what you're capable of saying. And the clarity is there because you use your language effectively, you use your language correctly. You are not enthralled with the false notion of inner language, because everybody with disembodied language is not listening to themselves, but is also completely overtaken, overwhelmed, and completely possessed by the illusion of inner language, which you call your mind, your thinking, your internal dialogue. Well, if you want to go your own way, you got to not listen to this mind, and if you are going to listen to it, I suggest, why don't you just speak your mind, as they say, please, by all means, speak your mind, but don't speak it to somebody else. No, speak it to yourself for once. So say to yourself what is quote unquote on your mind. And guess what happens? That's when you begin to go your own way. Then you realize that your mind doesn't exist. You're just saying whatever you're able to say. And you couldn't say anything else. And unless you allow yourself to say something better, nothing better will ever happen to you. So, you, with your stupid mind, you just keep on beating around the bush. You just go around in circles. You're all over the map, but you're never paying attention to yourself. And you only go and pay attention to yourself if your language fits with your individually lived experience. So if your language expresses your experience correctly, only then do you feel like, okay, now it starts to make sense, because this is what I really feel. This is what I really, quote unquote, think. But you're not thinking it, you're saying it. So when you say what you think, you're not thinking anything, you're just saying something. And it takes a little while for that to sort of just kick in. And you need to go through a little exploration of that there is really no language inside of you, that yes, it is always about what you say, and it's always about what you therefore hear, because you can only hear it if you say it. And yes, you could write it and then someone could read it, you could read it, but it is always about overt language. There is no covert language. So going your own way involves your ability with your embodied language to fully acknowledge, to fully enjoy, because it is acknowledging is one thing. I was saying like, yeah, it is true. That's not, that to me that's meaningless, and to you it would be equally meaningless. It only becomes meaningful if you enjoy it, if it is something that you like to do, if it is something that makes sense in the sense that, oh wow, this is great, this feels good, this helps, this this is what I need. Yeah. So again, going your own way is about recognizing your need and fulfilling your need with your own language. Yeah, it is wonderful when you do that, and when you can do that, because it is a skill. Yeah, it is a skill which you acquire, and where you go from a simple phenomenon, a very simple direction or instruction, if you will. Yeah, the instruction is simply to talk with yourself and to listen to yourself. It's just a very simple instruction. Now you go and do it. You go and do it, and you go and explore it. Yeah, even though of course you hate it, or even though you don't find it interesting, you want to give up on it, or you say like, why am I supposed to do this? What? This is just me talking with myself, and isn't it about talking with others? No. Whenever you talk with others, you are listening to them. You're not listening to yourself. And you now begin to talk with yourself so that you can begin to actually listen to yourself. And so, yes, you step away from your usual conversation with others, in which you end up listening to them, or you end up trying to get them to listen to you, but you're not listening to yourself. So you step away from that conversation in order to be able to speak with yourself and listen to yourself. And then you begin to discover, oh, this is my way. Now I hear myself. Now this is how I want to talk. And this is how you can never talk with others, because they keep engaging in disembodied language. You would only be able to engage in this way of talking with someone like me, who listens to him or herself while he or she speaks. Now, that's so you see how there is a sort of a logical coherence to embodied language, which you then step by step will discover. It will reveal itself. Yeah. If you do not listen to yourself, how are you supposed to listen to others? Yeah, people are not listening to each other because they are not listening to themselves. And why are they not listening to themselves? It's because they keep being busy listening to others. Or they keep being busy with trying to get others to listen to them. Yeah, but that's all disembodied language. We are all used to it. We are all conditioned by it. Nobody has ever spoken about embodied language in the way I do. Yeah, and nobody has ever spoken about embodied language in the way you would, if you would actually be able to recognize, like, oh, wow, so I wasn't listening to myself, and now I am listening to myself, and therefore now I am having embodied language. Wow. And yes, of course, my own embodied language is what it's all about. It's not Maximus Peppercamp, his embodied language, which is going to do the trick for you. No, you must acquire your own embodied language, because without that, it's all just meaningless what I'm saying. Yeah, and this whole idea of embodied language makes no sense as long as you are not having it. So it's not some sort of a intellectual exercise or something like that. Either you do it or you don't. Yeah, either you have it or you don't. Either you listen to yourself or you don't. And you will know when you do, and you will also know when you don't. So if you don't like it, if you feel like it's not working, or if you are still doubting and you have all kinds of problems and I don't know, you can't figure it out, well, then obviously you are not having any embodied language. If you have embodied language, everything will become clear. Even if it is only in that moment. Yeah, even if the clarity is only in that moment that you speak, it will accumulatively result in a broader, more, you could say, elaborate conceptualization, because this is a skill which will reveal to you your own reality. So the reality that you have experienced and that you have lived through with your disembodied language, it needs to be addressed. Yeah, it's one big misery, it is one big drama, one big struggle, fight, confusion, frustration, dissatisfaction, all that. With embodied language, everything will fall into place because you're listening to yourself while you speak. Yeah. Now you got to tell yourself, okay,